Yes, good morning, students. In this, you will go to learn the full stack. What is the full stack means? You'll go to learn the front end as well as the back end along with databases. That is called as a full stack. In this full stack, you will go to learn the MERN. MERN in the sense, M it will be stand for the mongoose, E it will be stand for the express, or it will be stand for the React, N it will be stand for the Node.js. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, MongoDB. MongoDB means it is a NoSQL. Okay. The data will be stored in the JSON format. Okay. Next is Express.js. Express.js means in the Node.js, if you want to create the HTTP methods, like we have the different types of HTTP methods like get, post, put, delete. This type of methods API. If you want to create the APIs, we need a Express.js. Next is the React.js. React.js is the front end. Okay, it is a JavaScript library. Okay, which is to be developed by the Facebook. Next is the N, which will be stand for the Node.js. Okay, this concept we will go to learn in this video. That is called as the which makes a full stack. If you know all this MongoDB, Express.js, React.js, Node.js, then it is called as a full stack development. Full stack encompasses building of both the front end as well as the back end. Front end in the sense it will be the user interface UI. Back end means it's a server side logic and database of the web application. Key aspect of the full stack development is front end means creating the user interface UI. UI kind of means when you go to any website, that is will be the UI, which will be the UI. Backend means building the server side logic, handling data storage and retrieval, and interconnecting with the or interacting with the databases. Means backend means why we need means it is used to build the server side logic for storing the data to the database and retrieving the data from the backend. If you want to do any kind of editing or updating, then we can go with this backend development. Database management means designing and managing database to store and retrieve the data. Designing and managing databases to store and retrieve the data. API. What is an API means? Application Programming Interface. Why we need this means if you want to interconnect with the front end to the back end means we need an API. So it will be communicate through the API, Application Programming Interface. Front end. For example, there will be a form. You have to fill all the form detail. Okay, we have for example consider in the form we have the name, age and address. Once you click the submit button, that will be sent as a request to the backend, which will be sent as a request to the backend. In the backend, we should have to receive those requests and process the data and send as a response to the front end. That is the use of the API. I will show how to create the APIs in the future. Testing and development. Once the application has been developed, you want to test that whether the functionality is working properly or not. We need a testing and development. That are the key aspects of the full stack development. See, MERN stack means M it will be a MongoDB, E it will be the Express.js, or it will be the React.js, N it will be the Node.js. See how that will be work it, how it will be work each other. Okay, React.js it will be sent as a request to the means front end it will be send a request to the back end. Back end means Node.js, which is by using the Express.js we are creating the HTTP APIs. HTTP API is for creating the get API. Get is API means retrieving the data from the back end to the front end. Posting. If you are means inserting, you are creating a new record. If you are creating the new record, then we are inserting. If we after filling all the details in the form in the user interface, when we click on the submit button, the data will go to the backend. In the backend, that will be stored in a MongoDB or database. Okay, MongoDB, all this React.js front end, Node.js is the back end, and MongoDB is the database. How it will be interact with each other, which this diagram showing. MERN means, what is a MERN means? MERN is a full stack JavaScript solution for developing the web applications, meaning both client side as well as the server side are written in JavaScript. Both are written in the even React.js also written in the JavaScript and Node.js which is also written in the JavaScript. We're simplifying the development process. The rise of MERN is linked to the trend of building a single page application. Means why we need this? MERN means it is used to create the single page applications. What is the use of the single page application? Means if you compare with other applications, instead of loading all the modules, there will be admin module, so customer module, different modules in the other like the .NET or whatever the other programming languages. If you create the application, instead of loading all the modules, if you create the single page once at a time, if you download it means performance point of view. If you talk in the performance point of view, instead of loading all the modules, it will take the obviously more time to load all the modules. If it is a single page means it will be load immediately. Means in React.js or MERN, all the modules will be converted to the single page and load at a time. So in the performance point of view, MERN is which is better compared to the other applications. So that is called as a single page applications. React is a key part of this as it allows for the dynamic update to the user interface. MongoDB and Express work together to handle the data and server-side logic. Okay, MongoDB and Express, which will be work for the backend. React.js is the front end. We can use this thing for the dynamic kind of things to make the dynamic web applications. The MERN stack is a popular collection of technologies used to build the modern web applications. MERN is a better in all the organization. They are working on the MERN. They are developing the application by using the MERN React. You can check within the real-time develop. If you have any friends circle, you can check with it. Okay, MERN, which is the most popular collections of the technologies built to build a modern web applications. MongoDB means what? MERN means which will be stand for, first will be stand for the MongoDB. Okay, what is a MongoDB? A MongoDB is nothing but it is a NoSQL document oriented database. A MongoDB is a NoSQL document oriented database that store the data in a format like JSON format. It will be store the data in the JSON format. What is a JSON format? JSON format is nothing but it is a key value pair, which will be the key value pair. So making a deal for the application that requires scalable and flexible data storage. MongoDB is the scalable as well as the flexible. Okay. Express.js. If we go to the next is E. In the month, next is the E. It means it is a Express.js. Express.js means it is a framework, backend framework. It's a minimal and flexible Node.js web application framework that simplify the server side development by providing the essential feature like routing and middleware to handle HTTP request. Why we need an Express means to routing purpose and middleware to handle the HTTP request. We have different types of HTTP requests like GET, POST, DELETE, PUT. These are the different types of the HTTP methods. Next is the R. In the MERN, we have the next is third letter is R, which will be the React. This is defining the component of MERN stack. It is an open source JavaScript library. React is an open source JavaScript library maintained by the Facebook, which is maintained by the Facebook. Node.js. What is a Node.js? Node.js is a JavaScript runtime which is built on top of the V8 JavaScript. V8 is the version 8 JavaScript engine. Node.js is a JavaScript framework which is built on top of the V8 JavaScript engine. It allows developer to run the JavaScript on the server side, enabling full stack JavaScript development both client as well as the server side. Means even we can develop the front end in the Node.js, server side as well as a client side also, because it is a JavaScript framework. Node.js mainly it is a use Node.js for the backend purpose only, but we can also create a front end in Node.js also. Node.js is just a runtime environment that can run JavaScript. Node.js is a just a runtime environment that can run the JavaScript. Even if you want to run the Node.js, means we need to install the Node.js library software. We need to install the Node.js software. It is a open source software we can download for your particular operating systems. You can download Node.js. There will be, it will open the official website. You can download for which operating system. Okay, and install. So along with this Node Package Manager NPM, you heard about NPM. To install, if you want any dependencies, I'll show what can be, how we can work. Okay, there are the different types of comparison with Angular, React.js, Node.js. AngularJS is a front-end framework. It is follow the MVC architecture. MVC means Model View Controller Architecture. Declarative programming. It is a two-way binding. It is a two-way binding. One-way binding as well as two-way binding it has in AngularJS. One-way binding is if suppose click the button, only that will be the one way. It's suppose two-way means if you are creating a one variable and interpolating with the HTML elements, that is called as two-way binding. Node.js means it's a backend runtime. We can perform event-driven, non-blocking IOs, scalability, JavaScript ecosystem. React.js is front-end library, which is a front-end library. React.js is the front-end library. It is mainly followed based on the component-based architecture, which is a React.js, which is mainly based on the component-based architecture, which create the virtual DOM. React.js, which creates the virtual DOM. Okay, and which follows the one-way data binding. React.js, which follow the one-way data binding. For example, if you any event, when click the button, it will perform the event handler. It will call the event handler. Okay, these are the things. In the next session, we will discuss more detail.